Hello.
Hello there.
How are
Welcome,
you?
welcome, welcome. I'm doing quite well. Welcome to this year. I'm gonna let everyone just come in here as everyone just comes into the conversation. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can feel free to turn on your video here. This is we're gonna have a chance to actually play with one another here today. Um
Awesome. Hey, Diana.
yes.
Hey, Nemo.
Hey, DTK.
Yes.
What's up, beautiful? What's up,
How are
Nemo?
you?
Hello. 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 Hello everyone. And Georgina, good to see you. Good to
Hi,
see you.
DJ. Mhm.
All right.
To meet you. I'm David.
Yes. So we're gonna do some things here. I'm gonna ask you to mute your mics for right now. I'm actually gonna mute everyone. And what I like to do here is just take some time for us just to settle into what this is. We have, and when I say take time, I actually want to make sure that I'm taking time because I can feel myself just wanting to rush through this here. I'm so excited to play with all of you. Yes, yes, indeed. So let me just go out here and just start off with an acknowledgement. Hi, Diana. Hi, Georgina. Hey, David. It's good to see all of you here. And I want to acknowledge all of you for taking the time out of your day to focus on yourself. What we're doing here today is the first part of a 5-part series, all on getting to your next level. And it's something that about 2 weeks ago, I realized that actually not even that long ago, but probably like 10 days ago, I realized I've been talking about getting to the next level with people, but I hadn't really created experiences for us to explore what is keeping us from getting there, what that actually looks like, what the vision of that looks like, and then how we can be able to do that in a sustainable manner for us both now and in the future. So that's the intent behind this series here. But I also have to say, and I realized this just before coming on here, if I was going to say there was a hidden motive behind all of this here, is that I would love for each person who comes onto these calls to be connected and feel connected with the others on this call. There's so much that we can learn. There's so much information out there, but at the end of the day, what's really missing for all of us here is an element of really knowing who our peers are and being able to play this in that way. Because what I found is that when we're moving on to our next levels, and I'll put on some definitions and give some more descriptions around that soon. But when we're really moving into that next level of play and that next level of transformation, going it alone is possible, but going with others is far more sustainable, more enjoyable, and less frustrating. So I want to make sure that I create that kind of space and connection for all of us here. What I'll do really quickly is just set up we're going to have a chance for each of us to go through, introduce ourselves, share some more about ourselves. But before we do that, let me set up a little bit of this conversation, so we have at least a context for today, and go from there. All right. So we're talking about the next level, and in particular, today we're talking about the current level and the idea of where your current level is and what it's costing you to play at that level. Because this is something that I'm finding on a regular basis here. The more I think about what's coming up next, the more I have to make sure I understand where I am right now and why it is that I'm choosing to be where I am. I know that today we're going to go and explore in a couple different ways. And I actually feel like the way that I like to set that up will come after we make our introductions. So why don't we do this here? We'll start going around here in this conversation. For all of us here on this here, and anyone else that watches this later on the replay pages, love to just get to know you just as you are right now. So we're going to start off with Diana, then we'll go to Georgina, then we'll go to David. Right? Diana, what I like to do here is just introduce you to everyone as I see you. All right. So here, yeah, David's already, you can see that coming in there. But Diana, here's who you are to me. And you're one of the most real people that I know. And the thing about that, the reason I start off with being real is that you have multiple dimensions to you in so many different facets. And when I think about you, not only do I think about a movement leader who is eradicating shame from a child's education, not only I think about you in all of the various roles and levels that you choose to play at. I know you to be someone who embodies what it is that you believe and who puts yourself through the process of going through the journey as well, as opposed to simply just talking about it. And for that, it feels real. It feels like it's in integrity, and it feels incredibly authentic. I'm honored to have you on this call. I'm honored to serve you here. And I've let people know a little bit about how I see you. Why don't you go ahead and share a little bit about who you are? I'm less concerned about like what you do in the world. Like those demographics aren't really important here. But I'd love for you to share a little bit about who you are and maybe describe to us a bit about what you might consider your current level in the context of this conversation.
I think who I am is bold, courageous, authentic, sincere, and loving. And how I'm being is courageous and full of fire. Mach 10 with my hair on fire. But also playing in between the extremes of Mach 10 with my hair on fire and being calm, all those nuances in between, and learning to lean into my edges and my vulnerability with that. So that's who I'm being. My current level is trying to get some momentum going that I have prevented myself from having out of fear and out of armoring up for protection.
Thank you for that, Diana. It's a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for really living into the realness right off the bat. And this is the game that we're choosing to play. I would be remiss in saying that part of the reason why this masterclass is coming together is because for ages I've been feeling that I haven't been playing at my next level. This is something I've been wanting to do for years, something I've had the ability to do for years, and I haven't actually given myself that opportunity to do it. And so what I get about you in this moment is that you're willing to play in your next level and to play towards that throughout every single motion of it. And I thank you for that, because I can feel right now, I can feel my own heart going as I'm living and leaning into the vulnerability of putting this together. So thank you for showing up that way. Georgina, we'd love to get to know you. Tell us a little bit more about who you are and also about your current level.
Hello, it's very lovely to know all of you too. I'm based in Singapore. I've been here for 16 years. I am a mother, I am a businesswoman, and I am most recently a coach. So for the last 10 years, I've been on a hamster wheel. I originally got into business because I wanted to help people change from within. But for the last 10 years, I've just been making money to get by while my husband has the great career that's saving the world. And we both buy into that, and we're both trying to support it. But right now, my job is going down the toilet, and I've taken a sidestep, and I've been proactive with it, and I've got my qualifications as a coach. But really, where I'm at the moment is seeing it as a way out of corporate and just refueling my energy and looking introspectively and realizing, one, I'm limiting my vision of success, and I want it to be a full play abundance and love and growth and money and journey and fun and all of these other things. And I need to just look at how I can expand my horizons, do what I teach others in terms of coaching to myself and in terms of sales and marketing, and flesh that out and take that to the next level.
Awesome. Awesome. Georgina, it's wonderful to have you here. And thank you for playing full out here. Thank you for playing
Thank
full
you.
out for yourself. David, DTK, let us know a little bit more about you and your thoughts on your current level.
So first of all, apologies. I'm also chef. So it's the end of a holiday and I'm making dinner while we're doing this. So I'm here and with you, even if I pop off screen. So yeah, best way to introduce me. I am, go with my purpose. I am the resonant energy that unearths and unleashes the power of the heart. And that shows up in everything I do as a friend, as a parent, as a partner, as a coach. And done a really good job at playing towards big. I know how far the needle can go. I don't take it all the way. I hold back from as big as I can play, but I do a really good job at looking like I'm playing big. That's my, we were playing with the conversation before about zone of excellence versus zone of genius. I do very well staying in the zone of excellence. And the call for me now is to step out bigger and step into that zone of genius. And stop playing big and fucking play big.
Yeah, I get that. I feel that viscerally there, David. And I'm excited to play with all that here today.
Oh, good, because I'm scared shitless. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what though? Like for someone who's scared shitless, you're also like chilling while making dinner and all that there. So like, if this is you scared shitless, then we're in great shape. We're in great shape.
Okay, awesome.
I realized that I brought Diana into the room as to how I see her, and I would love to do the gift of sharing how I see each of you as well here. And I think that. Yeah, let me just go ahead and do that. So Georgina. So Georgina and I met actually just this weekend, and she is one of the most formidable people that I've met in my entire experience here in Singapore. Before I met Georgina, I had this thought that I just hadn't been able to disprove really in my time here in Singapore, which is my people aren't here. My people aren't here. And in Georgina, I found a peer, someone who's a leader, someone who's dedicated to her own growth journey, and who's dedicated to taking other people along with her. Georgina, you're someone who is more than just a destination. You'll always get there, but the journey is so important to you, and enjoying that along the way is something that you help me remember to do. And I'm someone who enjoys the journey. So to have someone like that in my life is something that feels incredibly precious to me. And yeah, I do want to just thank you for the chance to be able to serve you as you're moving forward into what comes next for you.
Likewise to all of that. Thank you, Nemo.
Mm-hmm. And then I'd like to introduce you all to David, DTK. So DTK, who you are to me, you are heart. You are heart in means that go beyond what you might think. The way that you show up, even showing up in this call, choosing to show up for yourself, choosing to make no excuses to be both to get both the dinner done for yourself, for your family, and to still be present here, to do what it takes. And to know that in doing what it takes, you are opening up not just your own heart, but the hearts of those around you is something that really is true to me. When I'm in your presence, I feel sensations in my chest that don't usually happen. When I'm in your presence, I can feel as I sang in a barbershop chorus, and they talked about unzipping your heart, out there. And I feel like my heart can be unzipped, and I can be able to be in my feelings. I can be able to be in my understanding. And at the same time, I can also tether that with strong abilities to think and set in vision and to move people along with my heart. So I want to thank you for that here. I know that all three, let me acknowledge you first. I want to thank you, David, for that here. Fantastic. So all three of you right now are already playing a big game. And I want to make sure I acknowledge that off the bat. This is not anything remedial in any means, shape, or form. actually all four of us are already playing a big game. Like I'm going to join in with you on this here. The purpose of this space here is really to give us a chance to explore. We have several different sessions that are available to us, so there's no real rush to get to any specific location. All right. The idea here is to give us a chance to be able to look at something in particular. With all of our focus being out there in terms of what's next for us, we want to make sure that we're taking account of what we have right now, where we are, what the foundation is that we're building off of right now, and to see what it is that is keeping us in this level as it is. All right. There's a distinction that I love to play with, which is running away from and running towards. I love to work with people who are running towards possibilities as opposed to running away from problems. So I want to make sure that we are able to start off with almost like a GPS. We need to know both where we are and where we're headed. Right. So right now here, what I like to ask is I like to go ahead and share something with me really quickly. The elements here that have been showing up for me when it comes to playing at my current level has been similar to what a DTK shared, where it looks on the outside as though I'm playing a much bigger game than I actually am. For me, what I'm embarrassed about is the fact that I feel like I'm not coming off consistently. That I show up, and when I show up in the world, it is vulnerable, it is real, it is powerful, and it is intense. And then it's also then just gone, almost ethereal. Someone that I had once described myself as a wave. You either catch me or you don't. And what I realized for me is that I had been living into that vision of being a wave. Either I was there or you saw the effects of me afterwards. What I realized about what's true about my current level is that I'm actually an ocean. And ever present, every once in a while, there are things that I send out onto the shores. And with that there, I've been finding honestly here that it's been coming at a cost to me to just pretend to be the wave or to live into wave. I've been feeling greater senses of frustration. I've been feeling that a lack of I've just been really hard on myself, realistically. What I don't want you to know about me is that I woke up today at 4:30 in the morning and I just couldn't go back to sleep. And as soon as thoughts of the business came to mind, like my night was done. And this has been happening for about the last 2 months. Since September of this year, these types of waking up in the middle of the night and then my brain just turns on and it goes to all the things that haven't been done. So when we come into here and we look at today's conversation, I want to be real about what some of the costs are for me. But I also want to make sure that you're able to leave this conversation here with an opportunity to not just explore the costs for you, but to also take stock of what it is that you've been creating as it currently stands. The way I'm going to play this here will shift as we go along. And what I like to do here is just to go around, just a quick round robin. What is one accomplishment or gift of your current level that you currently hold in exile? I'll say that again. What is one gift or accomplishment at your current level that you currently hold in exile, that you may not have been giving yourself credit for, or that you haven't taken notice of? Think about that for a few seconds.
You're going to have to help me with that one, Nemo.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you wouldn't take notice of, or not acknowledging, or...
Yeah. What is one gift right now of where you are that you haven't really acknowledged for yourself?
It's interesting. I think what comes up is the only pressure I have on me right now is me. right? Any time pressure that I have is my own design. And it's not just working for myself. Last time I put a resume together, Reagan was still in office. So that it's not that piece. It's, I couldn't fix that all on my own. I don't have financial pressure right now. I have a lot of flexibility in the schedule. We're empty nesters now. We get to go visit them instead of constantly having to come home and deal. So I feel like I've got a lot of grace, and I haven't seen that as a gift. I've sort of just said, holy crap, I have flexibility. Let's plow into whatever, right? And I haven't really appreciated the breathing room.
Thank you for that.
Good question. Yeah.
Anyone else have anything? I'm hearing grace and the flexibility in the breathing room of what you already have. Diane, is that a hand there? Yeah.
I was just going to say, it's the messy middle for me that I hold at bay. You know, that's a gift, because that's where the magic happens, and yet I just want to get to the other side. So I'm in such a damn hurry to get into the other side and to take off like lightning that I don't stop to breathe in the messy middle and realize that the magic is already happening.
How many of you know that one? The looking to just get past the messy middle to just like get the answer, to get the, yeah, that is that one I feel that you are not alone in that there. Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's hard to stop if your hair is on fire.
Yeah. Mach 10, right? It's like you would think running quickly will put out the flames, and yet it doesn't, right?
Run towards a wave.
Wait. Are you sure it doesn't? The extra, no, because
yeah. How about you, Georgina? Is there anything that came to mind here?
Yeah, one thing that I strongly resisted, and one thing I changed it into. So the one thing I strongly resisted, and I felt like this real resistance, was intuition. I've been taking it for granted and parking it, and really I don't want it to be a mainstay of my business, because I don't want my coaching to be flaky, but it is such an important part of my life. And then the one thing I've been missing up until now is intention. You know, my intention has been to run away from and get that space, and I have been really grateful for that, and I've used it. And now I'm in the right place where I'm like, okay, my intention now that I've solidified in the center is where to move forward. And I need that vision of where I move forward to, because I'm planting my intention.
So thank you all here. And what I'm feeling in this moment is it's the three of us here. So we have the opportunity to play. It doesn't have to be anything like what I'm feeling in this moment is what is comfortable for me is to try and like squeeze everything into the topic of this session. What is the cost of playing small? What is playing small costing you? And what I'm realizing is that we have actually something far more beautiful right here, which is three individuals who are actually playing and going for what's next for them. So what I like to do is we have this context. We can either take it and explore more around what's happening in your current level and what it's costing you, or you can bring in something that's really real for you in this moment. And let's go around. We'll spend some time here, and I'll just work a little bit with, I love to spend some time just going deep with one person, and doing some coaching around something that's showing up for them right now. Right? The way that I look at this here is while I might be focused, it might seem like my attention is focused on one person. I'm actually paying attention to everyone. And the other part of this here is I strongly believe that when one person's getting coached, everyone is getting coached. So listen as you're listening here. I think everyone on this call are all
Amen.
Yes, indeed. So listen here for some of the questions that I'm asking. You may ask yourself, why is Nemo asking this question? How does this relate to the next level? And how might it relate to me as I'm going through it? Right. My thing is I want to play. I want to just make sure that I'm bringing all of me to the table in order to play with each of you here. So I might ask, I don't know how it's going to go, but I know that what happens will be the most powerful thing that can happen in this moment. So would anyone want to be served right now on this call? Yeah. And you don't have to, if it's not something you're looking for, it's okay. But let's play a little bit.
Gladly.
Okay. So Georgina, if you were going to leave this call let me just ask you, let me just not make it anything where it needs to be. What would truly serve you in this moment?
Clarity.
Around
Clarity around direction. And being able to visualize it. Being able to feel it.
What's it for you?
Good question. Start with the end in mind, being able to feel the destination of where I want to get to as a coach, as a person, having it integrated into my life and embodying it. It being growth, coaching, connection, purpose.
And I'm going to ask you right now, because why is that important to you? Why is it important for you to have that clarity at this stage in your business and life?
Because in terms of clarity of direction, I need a place to start. And I want to start big and I want to start learning. So far, I've just been open and exposed and playing, which is fantastic. But I'd rather play within a certain direction so that I can build up my business. I think from a financial standpoint, I need to make this work and I need to make this work fast. So my hair is also a little bit on fire. In fact, I've been holding the lighter away going, I can get by. But I actually want to douse myself and just go, right, let's go. So I think I'm actually at a corner space where I have been wanting to create a mindful space to be present. I think that has been really, really important to me, which is why disconnecting from everything else and having that space for introspection has just been pure gold. And I've had that. And I've got that anytime I want to step into it. Luckily now with my work situation. And I think the outcome for that is knowing I'm on the right path and that I need to scale up and make it a proper successful business. Because it's what I love doing. It's what I enjoy doing. It's my time. It gives me growth. It connects me to other people. And it enables me to travel as well. I might be moving back to the UK at some stage. So I'm working for myself. Yeah.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about where you would consider, if you had to describe yourself at your current level right now in terms of your business and such, right? Let me get a sense of what does that look and feel like for you in this moment?
So I've done 6 months of my coach training course. It's not much. I've graduated with my qualifications and I need to get a certain amount of time in before I'm recognized by the ICF to have my first level of training. Having said that, within work, my job has always been to go out and connect with people, to win business, to negotiate. So I've already got out there. I've got clients. I'm practicing. I'm playing. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm busy. I'm busy, but I'm not getting paid for being busy. At the same time, I'm working a day and a half. So my whole company got fired in Singapore. Everyone got retrenched except for me. And I negotiated to stay on, and I thought, I know exactly what I'm asking for, and I'm happy not to do it, up to you. And amazingly, I still work. So a day and a half a week, and that gives me sort of the money that we need to make rent. But I haven't been thinking big with that work because my heart's not in it at all. My heart's just not in it. So I need to think about how I can bring that game bigger, because that gives me a bedrock with which to play elsewhere, a financial bedrock. So you could see I'm about sustaining or maintaining mediocrity just to get by. But right now, all I have wanted to do was just get by. My daughter's doing her exams at the moment. I wanted to be there for her. I've really just wanted to reconnect with who I am as well. Because, you know, before I came to Singapore, before I had kids, I was this wise kid, full of adventure, you know, highly intuitive, connected, spiritual. I still am all of these things, but it doesn't flow so easy, you know. Instead, I'm like a shrew, like, Mum, get up to your room. You know, where's this hippie, fun-loving, you know, creative, playful person? Yeah, instead of this hag. So yeah, I wanted to reconnect myself to my kids, and that's where I am right now. And that's given me a space of strength, because I get more sitting on my mat and meditation practice than I do often just, you know, strategizing.
Yeah. And Adrina, like, thank you for sharing this here. I find myself really curious about what we were talking about, the person that's like full of adventure and, like, you know, compared to like the old hag, you said, the right now,
Yeah.
the hag. Tell me more about like how you see yourself, like, truly, or how you were back in the day.
At the risk of putting myself completely out there, which I'm happy to do, that person was the person who would walk up to complete strangers and say, I feel compelled to know you. There's a reason we need to connect. And then finding out, this is halfway across the world in Bali, that their dad is buying my dad's house. Or being able to read into people's eyes and visualize everything that is going on and what they want, literally channeling straight through and being able to see that. Feeling emboldened, feeling wizened, feeling like there is no failure. How could I possibly fail? Everything is a sense of adventure, you know? I'm just having great connections. Actually coaching people from the age of 18. You know, hypnotizing somebody in my class when I was 16, just to see if I could, knowing I had oranges in my tuck box, saying, you're getting this craving for oranges later, come see me. And they come back in my room and go, oh, really strange, I've got this craving for oranges. I'm like, I've got them in my tuck box. And then realizing somebody had taken my oranges, and then that poor person couldn't sleep all night. But then stopping that because I asked somebody a question and they couldn't get out of their own head. You know, so there is that fear as well. And there has been a ceiling on this for the last 15 years that I have been dismantling as well. This big fear of something that happened that I saw and I experienced, and bringing that back into my life. Yeah, on tap, just connecting with people. I mean, what a gift.
Yeah, and absolutely is. It's a gift I don't have. Like, when you describe, I'm like, I don't know about y'all here, but like the ability to be able to be looked into in the eyes and then just be able to see more than what is available to me, like, that just seems like a superpower to me.
Yeah, and I miss it, and I'm getting it back. I'm getting it back by dismantling, you know, this time that I've had.
Yeah.
And
like, you started this whole thing off with like this element of like bringing in more intuition. It feels like you have something that's already there. So, Georgina, like, there's something I'm going to play with you in the place of following my own intuition here. And what it feels like for me is that, like, your next level isn't a level that is outside of you, or that is something new that needs to be newly envisioned as something different. It feels to me, from what you're describing here, your next level is returning back and allowing more of who that intuitive person is, the person that can look you in the eye, the person that can be hypnotizing, the person who's like, you want oranges, and then making you want it still deep into the evening. It feels like that's the place where you and only you can play. There are a ton of coaches out there, And there are a ton of people who can learn various skills and all that stuff, but you have something innately within you. And I want to talk to that. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen that as a space within my coaching, except for feeding into the client's situations empathically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not like sit, look into my left eye, let me read you, because for the last, 15 years, when I have been reading, I'll just say it, I had this regression. I swapped somebody in eye reading with a regression. And what I saw was devastating, and it just completely shut me down. I just saw this power, this wrath, this rage come out my solar plexus, and I was out on a destruction bent. And yes, that's why I'm saying I need to lean into that fear and let go of it. And I have been doing work on myself. And about a month and a half ago, I was out for drinks, a few beers down my neck, and this guy is telling me his life story. And I tried the coaching approach, and nothing had shifted. And then I just said, okay, look at my eye. Looked in my eyes, and I just picked up on this story of what his mum wanted him to be, and how she'd whisper in his ear, and within 5 minutes he's, oh my God, I've been an idiot, and everything changed. His friend said, how did you do that? We've been telling him for years, he needs to do this. So maybe there is a space. I just need to work out what that is and how sustainable that could be.
But when you're saying this here, there's an element that comes up here where there's an ease to almost everything you're talking about right now. Like, it's a world that I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't have the same things, but at the same time, I have my own gifts in different ways, and there's so much ease in what you said. You're like, me, that version of me would just be able to go out and connect with random people on the street, and then like be able to form such a strong connection, and also find out that for some reason there was you were able to make a connection that they already tied into your life in some way, shape, or form, or you're able to get through to someone who no one else was, but in 5 minutes of spending time with you, like really spending time with you, not in 5 minutes or like in a conversation of spending time with your coaching, like tactics or skills. It's just like spending time with you. Their life was able to change. And I'm curious for you as you go through this year around what it might take for you to be able to play a little bit more and give more room to that side of you, even if that's not how you, let's see, how do I say this? Yeah, I'm curious what it might take for you to be able to give a little bit more room to that side of you, the part of you, because what I'm hearing right now is like there's almost like a desire to go towards something. It's like, I need clarity, I need to see the vision, I need to move towards there. And it feels like when you're in like your greatest power, you actually are in that intuitive area. You are connecting with people, when you're connecting with them in a way that is, it's not marketing or salesy. It's just that person, and they're transforming through whatever that experience is. Let me check in with you first. If you were able to have a life where some way, shape, or form, the way that you made new clients, the way that you were able to impact different people was similar to that natural self of you, where you're just out connecting people, making connections with them, and allowing this intuitive gift that you have to come and play forth there. Even if you right now cannot see how that would be possible, right? Let's leave that part out, assuming that it is possible. If your life was able to have that in it, would that be something that would fulfill you?
Yes. But here's the thing that I'm thinking, as you're presenting this to me, as a coach, you follow the client's agenda, right? Completely at the service of your client. But when you're reading somebody's eyes, you are in their inner sanctum. You aren't a space away. You are seeing everything. But you're seeing your interpretation of everything. It's like seeing a picture or getting a feeling. It can still be interpreted. So that could help in terms of opening up conversations and sensing into things that they maybe don't want to talk about, or resistances and everything else. But I'm wondering if there's I'm wondering how to make that.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
non-invasive.
you're getting into the how part of this here, right?
Yeah.
And what I will say here, and just in the context of playing at our next levels and such, the how question is one of the things that keeps us exactly where we are. And the reason for this here, this is why I love looking at the next level. It's like there's a completely different set of actions that we need to take when we're in our next level, and when we're looking at it from our current place positioning, those actions either feel impossible or they're just not available to us. So I'm specifically not answering the how question because like you're so talented. You've done like that. If it was readily available to you right now as you were, it would come to you, right? Instead, what I want to do is focus on the who you're being area, so that when we shift that, then we have access to a whole new things of opportunity. One of the reasons why the next level is so important to me is because there were so many things in my life where people were like, well, Nemo, that's easy for you to do. And I realized I'm like, well, I don't really consider myself all that special. The only but for some reason you look at me and you think that there's a whole set of opportunities and options that are available to me that aren't available to you. I don't know why, but if you were me, then you would feel that these options were also available to you. So I love to just play a little bit here, just staying in the space of if you were able to create this here, would that fulfill you? And start from that place there, and then we can get into something there. Yes.
Yes. I think it's important for my own self-connection, for my own self-love, to be a better parent, to be a better friend, to fulfill my potential and to actualize anything.
Awesome. Yeah. And remind me, why did you decide that you wanted to be a coach?
My friend Evelyn mentioned it when I asked her about career transformation. And as soon as I heard it, I went, yes, that's what I wanted to be. But it was almost like a raft to get me out of where I wanted to be, but that resonated with my values.
So I'm going to ask this question. I apologize. I know I'm interrupting, but I'm going to ask this question again. Like I'm not interested in what happened that made you decide to be a coach. I'm curious, why did you want to become a coach? There's so many other ways that you could have done various things, but there was what was drawing you to being a coach internally?
I want to help people help themselves. I want to help them materialize the latent power they have. Because so much of it is lack of confidence, lack of belief. And you see all of this from the outside. You see all that potential and you kind of think how wasted it is.
Yeah. So in this moment here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this here, and I'm going to give you some time to sit with it here and just let it percolate. But in this moment here, you've given me a chance to see your potential, and your potential is something that's beyond, your gifts go beyond what I really had even thought. Right. And it's it's something that is really, really special and incredibly unique and honestly just super powerful. In 5 minutes, you're able to do what his whole close network wasn't able to get through to him. And you said that you love to help people help themselves and help them see their potential. What I didn't and that's why you got into coaching. What I didn't hear is that you love to apply coaching techniques or apply specific strategies that are out there. At the end of the day, you're about helping them help themselves and help them see their own potential. So I want to invite you to, as you're going through this journey and looking at your current and next levels here, you have things that you have that are to relax, to expand. There it is, to expand the definition of coach for you. There's coaching there's coaching strategies, and there's helping people help themselves. And with the coaching certification program, I'm sure there's certain things that you need to do, honor whatever that is. But let's also honor the fact that you're going to have all those skills and more. And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is the thing here that's out here. The more that you're willing to own that, and I know that you have several years of corporate background. Like I've seen you market and bring things up. The more that you're able to own this intuitive element of you, the more that you're able to own these stories that you're sharing out in the world, the 5-minute areas and such, that is the thing that's going to differentiate you.
But I have to be able to deliver. And that's something I need to work on. I've only had, so in the last 15 years, lots of, no, you're not saying this, which to me it flummoxed me, because every single time I did, and it would be inaccurate. People would get cocky and say, oh yeah, see if you can see anything. And I'd say something and be like, oh. So I haven't been able to. I've only had one instance where I can. So what I need is a bit more bravery, and I need to keep on working on stepping into that. And there's going to be a bit of a scary phase as well, because it's looking at stuff that has happened in past lives and stuff, and pushing through, opening up.
There's no, like, I want to present this as an option. You don't need to do anything. You're way too powerful to need to do anything at all, right? What I want to do is make sure that this is also an available opportunity for you to know. Yeah.
I've just had an aha moment there. When you say powerful, absolutely, that's what scares me. That's what scares me. The last lifetime I used that power and I didn't use it very well. I need to own that, because that's why intention is really important. I need to just put my intention where my power is. And even now, I feel this is a really flaky conversation. It's quite weird sharing it with other people. Yeah.
Well, thank you for leaning into the flakiness of it all. Thank you for leaning into sharing it with other people. And the reason that I say this is, if you look around here, let me ask you all, as people out there who help other people, David and Diana, did you experience this as a flaky conversation? And you can say yes, it's okay, but
no,
no, absolutely not.
Can you share
for the whole time?
Yeah. What is one thing, I'm going to ask you two here, what is one thing that you saw about Georgina, or one thing that you get about Georgina that you would want to share with her?
Georgina, the one thing that I get about you is that you really have a deep desire to help people move to their next level. I see a lot of fear that you hold yourself back from sharing that gift that you have to really see people. And it's an amazing gift. It's an amazing gift that you have. Yeah. Open yourself up to that. Definitely.
So, Georgina, are you open to getting anything from David here?
Absolutely.
Okay. David, you have anything you want to share?
Yeah, so many. Georgina, I so completely felt your heart when you shared that you're holding back this time because of an experience in a previous time. And it doesn't matter how many lives back that happened. I hear you carrying that stain on the power, and oh my, that's made up. It feels real. It feels raw. And if we've seen you at a 2, I can't wait to see you at a 12.
I like that, stain on the power.
Yeah.
I need to just bleach it or whatever.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
And there's a reason, Georgina, why we thank you both for sharing what you're seeing for this powerful person here in front of us. Right? There's a reason why I choose to do these group sessions here, because I was doing one-on-one, but part of it here, this is the hidden secret agent part of it all, around the next level, is being able to declare what it is, being able to say it in front of other people. Right now, it's happening in front of 3 other people, Georgina, and you are owning your power by 3 more people. And there are going to be others that get to see it, and they're also going to be able to identify with it. But you have been able to have the experience of being able to share it. And honestly, we're all more connected to you as a result of this than not. There are going to be a lot of people out there, and look, this is the part of the cost of this here, and I'm learning to speak to it all. There are going to be some people out there who just don't get it, who are going to look at you and be like, I have no clue what you're talking about here, right? And I want to put that out there. I want to put that out there because that's something that keeps us playing at the level that we're at, where it's almost like, well, how do I do this so that every single person in the world gets it, or so I don't get rejected, or that, you know, it feels like my livelihood can be in good shape. You're super intuitive. You will connect with the people who wants to get an experience of what you do. It will take them even further from there. But first and foremost, it's like you have the power and you know it. I can feel that it feels like you're on a journey of re-owning that power, reclaiming that power for yourself.
Reconnecting.
Reconnecting.
Sure. Matt, may I offer something, Nemo?
Yes, it looks like both of you do. As long as, let me just check in first with Georgina. I'm good with it. Georgina, are you open to anything that's being offered?
Gladly.
Okay. All right, David, then Diane.
I'm a little out there, and I try to keep that really, and I consequently read people from through a lens of that facade. And I was like, and I looked at this man who was the CFO for an organization that places CFOs for the banks into their distressed companies. I figured he was just going to be the most left brain tied up, linear, uptight human on the planet. He pushed my boundaries into the crystal and candles area. I mean, he was completely off the rails, just shy of loincloths and drum circles. And it was a blast trying to keep up with him doing the work that we were doing during the coaching. There are people out there who crave what you can bring. And you can already read, you can source. Your audience is out there craving it.
David, thank you for that. And Diane, I'm going to come to you in just a second here. If you wouldn't mind here, in service of all of us here, you said you're a little out there. How out there are you?
Like I'm trying to schedule the weekend with Heyo for the gathering of witches.
Awesome.
Yeah, when he said that only women are allowed, I talked to him later and he goes, "Oh no, you're in."
Okay, so this is definitely a safe space.
Yeah, this is a really safe space.
Yeah, this is the place. This is a space where you can come and hone in on that stuff, and to turn it into whatever you need it to be.
Brian Weiss didn't go far enough. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. And I love this here. I'm also going to call out one thing and then go to Diana. Is like I love what was really great here. You said he's completely off his rails. You know, he's like, maybe in Georgina it might be in your word. She's super flaky. That's why I love her. She like the whole time in there, like there was power in that. It was a true statement, and it wasn't a negative thing. It was the actual thing that drew forth even more. Yeah. So there might be some opportunity to lean more into that and to own more of that. Hey, some people might consider this flaky. Those people don't get the chance to experience this, you know?
My only rule is that if somebody's going to speak in tongues, I just want a translation later. That's all.
Done. Simple. It seems like a fair ask.
I just got to know. I got to.
Yeah. How about you, Diana? As we wrap up here for today, like, why don't you share something that share what's on your mind, or on your heart?
Yeah, I was just going to say, and I know I private messaged you, Marissa Peer. Like, if you've never heard of Marissa Peer, you need to go on Mind Valley U and watch a couple. You could probably do it on YouTube. But as you were speaking, I'm like, oh my gosh, like Marissa Peer is coming up for me, and that. Just the sense of how she interacts. And the whole time that you were talking, I was thinking you're holding back from bringing your brand of coaching. It doesn't have to be what the program or your coaching program has been. It's much, much bigger than that. It's that and then some. And you're going to bring your own style to it and your own brand. And that brand is what's going to blow things out of the water for people. Really, you know, you've got to let people get a hold of your brand of coaching. That's what makes you special. Bring that. And I am also out there. So there you go. There you go.
This is very, very different than what I thought I would be coming in to get, because I was looking for direction for my business, which would probably be businesses, working with businesses, you know. And I haven't wanted to go into a niche and thinking, gosh, I probably should, but it looks as if I've got one under my very nose. I just haven't noticed it. So, thank you.
Thank you, Georgina. Thank you for playing out that way. You know, thank you for bringing all this shit out here. What I'll do here is we're just at the top of the hour, and I am going to mute everyone here and just kind of close out, right? For all of us. Diana, Georgina, David, I want to acknowledge each of you for playing here today. We are creating something that we are co-creating something right now in this moment here. And I want to acknowledge you all for how you each showed up in the place of your own power. You each showed up in the place of your own vulnerability. You each showed up in your own place of service here. There are, in terms of this series here, once a week, I'm setting aside an hour to bring together different groups of people to explore more of what their next level is for them and how they can get there. Some of the sessions will include looking at your vision. Some of them will include looking at your energy, and all of it will be how do you return and how do you rediscover yourself and own the power that is you so that you can make your highest impact. The next level is always just the next level of you, nothing external. And sometimes, Georgina, we go backwards in order to actually go forward. And it's a returning to who we are. So look out for additional emails from me. The next one is on Monday, October 7th at 7 p.m. And what I do is that I actually keep myself, this is part of me playing in my next level. I come in here without an agenda. I have a topic that starts things off, but that's about it. And it changes. You know, if there's one person on the call, great, we'll work that way. If there ends up being 20 people on the call, we'll move into small groups and we'll have a totally different experience here. So each time you come onto these conversations, it's going to be slightly different. And that to me is the intention. My thing is, I'm not worried about who comes in later on. For the people, and this is something I'm really recommitting to in this moment, for everyone who chooses to show up, my goal is to serve you so powerfully. Your life has changed. And it's not about creating content. It's not about doing anything other than being here. So if you're looking for, basically the next 5 weeks, I am serving, and I am serving abundantly. And I'm looking forward to serving more with you here. Let's leave here with just a 2-word checkout from each of us here. We'll start with David, then we'll go to Diana, and then we'll go to Georgina. And I will send, we will send calendar invites, or at least send you a link to each of those here. I'll send out the dates to what they are.
Actually, the request is actually for a calendar invite. It makes it easier to plan. Great.
So I will send you a calendar invite because you asked for it, you know? So I'm happy to do that there. Let me just make a quick note of that. So with that there, let me just check in. Let's check out of this conversation. We'll start with David, 2 words, and then we'll go to Diana, then Georgina.
Inspired and curious.
Diana.
Open, fun.
Georgina. You are muted.
Perspective.
Nice. And I'll end it on, for me, game on. All right, everyone. It's great to see you. There's a concierge page where I'll be putting up the videos of this and others in the future where you can find out more information and watch the replays. All right. I'll talk to you all soon.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks,
so
Heyo.
much,
Thank
Be
everyone.
you.
well, all. Pleasure.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.